Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel for my third commentary video. Today I'm going to be talking with you guys about iPads and whether they're worth it or not for school or for university or for wherever you want to use them. So I have an iPad. I've been using it at school for a while, and what I use it for the most part is to do math problems. And I feel like it's really helpful because math problems, especially if you're doing really complicated math problems, they take off a lot, or they take up a lot of space on paper. So with like a typical notebook, you write down a bunch of math questions, you do the questions, and you end up taking like so many pages for each question, where you're sitting there and you're questioning like, is this even worth it? Because you're using so much paper. I mean, of course it's worth it because you need a way to practice math, but it would obviously be a better thing if you didn't need to use that much paper to do math. And so having an iPad means uh, having an iPad means that you can you have infinite paper basically. You're never gonna run out of paper. So that's one of the ways I think an iPad is a good idea, but kind of an issue with using an iPad for math problems is that on the paper, it's like you don't need to zoom in at all on the iPad. Or on the paper, you don't need to zoom in at all to see your whole question because, nothing's ever out of frame. You can see the whole paper. But with an iPad, sometimes, you run out of, you need to like zoom in on a part of the question and then you can't see the whole question. So I think maybe the paper would be better in that scenario. And I think when you're learning something for the first time, like if you're learning about like a new thing, it's it's a good idea to not do it on the iPad. I prefer to learn new things on like physical paper. So then like you have it written down. So if you're going through like Calc 2 or I don't know what the equivalent is in Canada for any of my Canadians out there, but you go through Calc 2, um like you when you're initially learning anything, you sort of write down all that stuff on paper. But then when you're actually putting it in practice and doing practice questions, no, you you do that on a practice. You do it on the iPad, sorry, because the iPad is like practice paper, but it's like an infinite amount of practice paper, right? If that makes sense. So that is when I would personally not use an iPad if I'm learning about something new. I would go for the good old paper. I'm scared of this guy. Another thing to note is that if you're getting an iPad, it's going to be pretty expensive because you need to buy the Apple Pencil as well, which is it's a pencil made of electronic, and it's very heavy. And yeah, but sometimes I prefer to do practice questions on paper. So maybe some of you guys will prefer that. But I don't know, the iPad's really nice. You can also use it to do other things outside of school. Like you can watch Netflix and and I actually don't know what else you would do with an iPad. The only thing I've used it for is watching Netflix. That's because I've switched to a new computer, and so I'm not logged into Netflix, and I don't know the Netflix login. So, I don't know how to use it on this computer. But, um, yeah, I think an iPad is a pretty good investment. So, if you guys are getting into harder subjects in school and feel like you're using a lot of paper and you want to get an iPad, I think it's a good idea for anyone who wants to get an iPad and to use it for school. Sorry, I have a Coca-Cola with me. I've been not drinking it because I'm making a video and I really want to drink it. So I think that's going to be the end of the video, guys. I hope you guys have an amazing school journey with your iPads if you decide to get one, and with your notebooks if you decide not to get one. Bye.